Welcome to the Happy Beyond Fit podcast with Maria Browning, former synchronized swimmer from Colombia turned into a lifestyle entrepreneur. In today's episode, I'm going to surprise you with a Zumba top presenter who became very popular in our Zumba world after her featured in Zine 101 that was recorded live at Zumba convention and had different top quality instructors from all over the world. She made her appearance in 2 songs, which became top choreography hits of all times. And I can assure you that you're still doing either one of these 2 choreographies. Check it out. Her name is Heba Fathy. She is originally from Cairo, Egypt, and she has been a Zumba jammer for 8 years. I want you guys to understand that each of the guests that have made an appearance, an impact in this podcast, they are stepping out of their comfort zone in a huge way. Because one thing is for us to get used to entertaining people for 30 to 60 seconds with a cool dance and choreography, but not having to talk. And another very different thing is to open up and allow the whole world to get to know who you really are for over an hour. This requires courage. So I am very appreciative to each of the guests that have made an appearance in this podcast. And I feel very honored that Heba has given us the time and the inside look into her life. This is a privilege that we're having. This was a beautiful time, so much fun, so deep, so eye-opening, guys, and so beautiful to see that we can be so different from each other at the same time being so similar to each other. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. Thank you, Heba, for your precious time. You guys enjoy Heba Fathy.
Oh my God, I'm
My
nervous.
I am very excited because I know nothing about you. So I've been trying to do my research, going in your Facebook page and your Instagram, like to try to get a feel of how your personality is,
Did you
what your
succeed?
way of thinking is. I think I did because you pour a lot of yourself in your posts. So, number one, I was very touched and surprised with one post that I found that I think describes in general what your journey of self-love and self-acceptance is. So I want to read it because it's your post, okay? And you wrote it many years ago. So it goes,
Okay.
I've been asked to tell you my story about my journey with fitness, so here it is. I wasn't playing any kind of sports all my child and teenage years. I was weak and self-conscious, so slim, maybe skinny, and still look in the mirror and call myself fat. I've reached a point in life where I almost was starving myself and only consumed less than 600 calories. I finished my high school and got accepted in physical education faculty, hardly because I had to go through a lot of tests, physical and personal, and I was so weak, as I mentioned, above and shy. However, I struggled a lot and cried a lot because I couldn't do the simple things like running or throwing a basketball without a lot of struggle. My love for sports was bigger than my obsession to be skinny, so I started to eat better and consume more calories. Throughout the 4 years of college, I gained 10 kilos and graduated with the weight of 55 kilos. My passion for moving and dancing kept growing bigger and bigger, still alongside with my self-conscious, unfortunately. So I started working as a personal trainer and a group exercise instructor in my pursuit of finding what I really want. I took a B1 training to become a licensed Zumba instructor back in 2012 with no idea what Zumba was and how the class looks like. But it sounded good and cool to be one of the first ones who took the first training in Egypt. Since that day, my life has literally changed. I found Zumba, or should I say, Zumba found me and saved me. Yes, saved me. I was stuck in a place where I thought that there is no space to grow and express who I really am. Yes, it was about me, and I was wrong. I started teaching class after class, started gaining some self-confidence and feel better about myself, especially when people started to tell me good feedback after the class. Since 2012 until now, Zumba has changed me so much to the person who I am right now. The person whose joy in life now is to change others' lives to the better, to make them laugh and dance their problems out, not to feel judged or pointed out for being different. I love my job. I love my people. Beautiful. So, this is just, I wanted to read it out loud and ask you how you feel about it.
My God.
Or
How
like
old is this?
2019.
Okay. I still feel the same, honestly. But there's one thing that has changed that I said it started because I wanted to do something for me, and it is still. And this is not being selfish at all. Like we used to think that when we do something for ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to feel good, like we shouldn't feel good. Like we used to feel like that. We should make others feel good, but not us, not ourselves. And that was part of my struggle and a little bit till now, that I'm concerned about how others feel, and I put that above or first, and I think of my happiness or choices as a second option. So yeah, I'm still doing it for me. And I'm glad everyone is happy, and I'm glad that I put their needs in my consideration. And honestly, it makes me feel good when they feel good, right? It's like connected together. If I'm feeling good, they will feel good. If they're feeling good, I will feel good. And it keeps on growing and going, right? So that's the one thing that I would change, that I'm still doing it for myself as well. And I'm not being selfish. I feel like it's my therapy to feel good with others and make them feel good so I feel good.
And it's as they say on planes that when the planes crash in, you have to take care of yourself first and put the mask on first so then you can help others. So it's the same thing. It's not being selfish. It's like you got to help yourself first in order for you to have the wisdom and the tools to help other people, right? So
Exactly.
I am very curious about you are born in Cairo, Egypt.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a lot of ignorant questions throughout this conversation because our cultures are just so opposite from each other. Okay. I am very
Understood.
excited to get to understand your point of views, your programmings in life, because we're all programmed in a different way ever since we're born, right? So, where
Yes.
does this need to be skinny come from? Because in my limited mind, I'm thinking you guys don't ever show your body. You're very modest. You don't use your body or your physical appearance as a way to get attention. So in my mind, I was very surprised to read that you have been struggling with this all your life. So can you please share a little bit more about it with me?
Yeah, of course. First of all, I have four sisters, one brother, and I'm the youngest. So my rank is number six. Okay. So by the time I was born, like I think my family was like, oh, another baby. So there's not so much excitement about me. Like I was so quiet, I was so shy. I had very minimal needs. Even if I had needs or wishes, I wasn't vocal about it. Like I would rather stay silent. So I was always feeling or seeing myself as very normal, like maybe less than normal. Like, when you walk in the street and so many people pass by and you don't just remember them. I've always felt this way, either in my family or my bigger family or in my school. Everywhere I felt like invisible. I don't know how or why, but this is how I felt. So there was nothing special about me. So what I wanted to do, or to maybe bring attention to me from my family, my close circle, is to maybe have something like very, very special. So for me, it was to be skinny. And I went to really extreme ways. I was so stupid with it. Like I was so young. I was in high school, so I was like starving myself, counting calories. And
Is it because in your culture, being skinny is like the ideal?
no, it's not about the culture in Egypt. It's about, my high school was like around early 2000s, which is like In Egypt, we see American movies, TV shows, Hollywood stars everywhere. And early 2000s were about skinny girls, like flat tummy, no curves, and very specific features. And I was seeing that all the time. And I really wanted to look like that. In Egypt, there was no stressing on a certain body image at all. But for me, it was this culture that I was exposed to, and I felt like, oh, they are so pretty. They get so much love. Everyone is saying like they look amazing. And I really wanted to stand out because, as I told you before, I felt like too normal. And I really wanted like my family to see me, to understand that I'm there's something with me, something special. That was for me to be special, is to be like skinny.
And I've heard a lot of psychologists talking about we all need to feel unique and stand out for something different. And when we have a lot of siblings, then the younger you are, the less options you have because those boxes have been
Exactly.
checked by your other siblings. So can you quickly tell me what were the other four boxes that your other siblings were already standing out on each one?
Hey, so my oldest sister, like she's the oldest, that's already special. Okay, she's the first baby. Then my the second one, she's so funny. Okay. Third one, she was like the tall, pretty one. And fourth one was the sweet, kind one. And then my brother is like this artistic one. And for me, I was like, I look like my third sister. And I was really good at drawing and writing and stuff. So I felt like I'm like a second copy of everyone. So that's why I felt like I need to stand out in something else.
And I totally get you 100%. I have two sisters, but in reality, I feel like I have one sister and the young one because I'm 14 years older than her. She feels more like my baby, like have my daughter, have my sister. So I grew up mainly with the oldest one. And because she was the smart one and she was also very pretty, then I needed to stand out for something else. I totally understand what you're trying to explain. That's why I needed to be the athletic one, the one that stood out in sports. So I practiced synchronized swimming all my life, and I was the national champion and representing the Colombian team. And that finally made me feel like, yes, like my mom loves me and she's proud of me as long as I continue to stand out with my athletic skills. So that has been a concept that I've been kind of like trapped and slaved into my whole life. As you can see, I ended up dedicating my life to something related to physical activity and standing out in something athletic and but also trying to stop that programming and get out of that and start believing that I do have all the traits, that I'm smart, because my sister was the smart one. I never did good in school, but at least I did good in in a sport, right? So my mom oversaw that I was not good in school because I was winning gold medals. So my whole life has been about that. In my head, I've always thought I'm not smart, but it doesn't matter as long as I'm standing out with my athleticism. So for me, like for example, to take off with this podcast is like stepping out of the comfort zone to allow myself to believe that I'm smart, that I can have smart conversations, even though like logically you understand, yes, of course I'm smart. Otherwise I wouldn't have succeeded in life. But it's like fighting the programming is so hard because that was your lifesaver. Standing out in that was the only thing that made you feel important or special. So, when did you start with this programming of trying to be skinny? How young were you when you started this?
I think I was like 15. Or I was like going to the school library and taking the books for dieting and ways to lose weight and stuff. And I was like, I only take the wrong information. Like I only take like you need to reduce calories. So I would reduce it to 500. And what are the 500?
That's the diet that they were selling us back then.
Yes, and I was only thinking about numbers, not the quality of the calories, but the numbers. I just need to not exceed a 500 calories. There was like a guide for item, how many calories in it. So I was like, this is my holy book. Like I'm walking by this guide. Like
So pretty much, what were you eating?
I was eating shit. I was eating like a croissant, a cup of coffee, a chocolate, and that's it.
But a croissant has a lot of calories. You did
Ye-
not suspect that?
No, I know how many calories in this piece, and I'm in the range, so I'm good.
And that was the only meal of the day.
Yeah,
So when you started this, you lost a lot of weight?
yeah. I was like 41 kilos.
That would be like 84, 85 pounds. Yes, that's
Yeah.
insane. So
Hmm.
for how long did you keep this weight?
Till I get into college. I had to eat. I had to eat because all our lectures were like track and field, basketball, swimming, and stuff. So I can't survive. I can't. If the very first time I ran 100 meters, I passed out. Like I finished and I was like down on the floor. I couldn't breathe and I was like, I had to eat because I loved the college.
Your body lacked the strength or the energy or both.
Oh, basically my metabolism, it was ruined.
So, question. Now I'm thinking, did it affect you physically? Did you end up having any problems maybe with your thyroid, with any health issues?
No, it was just me. Like, I think it hurt my metabolism rate because when I started working as a personal trainer, I was working out and I was like started to be more open to food and enjoying it more because I used to not to enjoy it. So I was overdoing it because I was like not getting enough calories. So I was eating a lot, then trying to burn it, then another unhealthy relationship that I work out to burn calories, not to doing it for myself to be stronger or healthier. So on the long run, I think my metabolism was getting like slower. My joints are affected. Like I used to get knee pain with no injury, back pain. Overall, I don't feel like even though I have the energy, but I don't have the frame to use it. And that is still my problem right now. I have so much energy, I have so much power, but my muscles and my joints can't take it.
So maybe this is a byproduct of all of those years malnutrition.
Mhm. Of course.
Have you been at the doctor and checked everything and see what's going on in your body?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm obsessed analyzing my own body.
Yeah, I did. But I started not from the nutrition part. I started from the like orthopedic part to
Yes.
see, to check my knees, my back, what's wrong. And it took me like a couple of doctors to get it, to understand it. And when I went to physiotherapy, basically he told me like, you generate so much power that your body can't take. Like my muscle should help with that, but it doesn't. So the impact all goes to my joints.
Are you doing some kind of resistance training now to help your joints?
I don't like it.
How old are
I'm
you?
sorry. I'm 36. But I
Because
should, but I don't. But I
resistance
have to.
training, I know, and I am in the same boat. I know it, I try, but the hard thing is to develop the habit, right? Once you get it going, it's like, yeah, you go to the gym to lift weights in autopilot, but the getting it going when you're so distracted by other activities that you're very passionate about, like Zumba, then that's what interferes, right? That is the key to longevity. We all need to be lifting weights, eating crazy amounts of protein and lifting weights. Are you very mindful of your protein intake every day?
Yes. Now, yes. I do that now. I'm very careful. Like, I don't miss it. Sometimes I take creatine as well. Like, I try my best to drink water. And even if I don't drink enough water, I love hot drinks. So I try to consume as many cups as I can. So I'm trying to be like responsible about it. For me, working out at the gym, like lifting weights, I'm like, I binge. Like, once I start lifting weight and it's okay, I feel the challenge, then second time I want to
Go
lift
higher.
more. So that's where my joints starts to hurt. And when I do it, I don't feel it. I feel like I'm wasting my time. It's like this dilemma, but I have to get back to it.
On the post that I was reading, you said that you were a personal trainer. Are you still a personal trainer? Do you practice it or you're mainly into Zumba?
No, no, no. I stopped being a personal trainer, I think 8 years ago. When I was a personal trainer, I used to work out regularly, but that because I had a shift 8 hours. I'm at the gym. I'm there. I'll work out.
Of course.
It's
So you don't
wrong,
do that anymore.
but
You're not at.
I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie. Like, mhm.
Yes. Thank you. That we gotta out ourselves here. So listen, is Zumba your full-time job?
Yes, right now, yes. I
Since when?
teach
For how long
classes.
have you been able to do this full-time?
Zumba only 8 years ago.
Ever since you started 8 years ago, you transitioned to that's your main source of income. This is how you make a living with Zumba.
Yes.
How in the world did you make that happen? Like for most instructors, it's not easy. They do want Zumba to be their only source of income or their full-time job, and they cannot make it happen. So how did you make this happen, woman?
Honestly, when I became a jammer, it helped a little bit,
And you've been
but
a
it
jammer
wasn't
for
that.
how long?
2016 was the year I was officially a Zumba
Eight
jammer.
years.
So
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
8 years. hmm I think that was one of the reasons why I quit being a personal trainer, because I really wanted to focus on my work and to really put all my time and energy into like getting better at my job, at choreographies and learning. I was so hungry to learn more about the program, the presenters, the Zen volumes, the techniques, to have more time to practice my own craft. So that's why I had to stop everything. It was a risk, but I'm gutsy. Like, I know when I do something, like it might go up or go down, and I'm down. I'll do it.
So let me understand this. Who do you live with? Are you married, single?
I'm single and living with my family, because in Egypt it's not common for you to be a single woman and living by yourself,
I can
even if you
imagine.
are
Latin
36.
America is the normal too. Like you don't leave home until you go get married. Like there's no reason to leave home. The United States is just very different. So you're still living at home, and that's why maybe transitioning to having Zumba as a full-time job is a big risk, but it's not as scary for you because at least you live still with your parents. So it's not like you're on your own paying for everything on your own, right?
Yeah, of course. To be honest, I've never thought about it from this side, because, as I told you, it's not common here that to be a single woman and living on your own. So that wasn't even on the table for me to think about. But I'm always been independent financially and everything since my first year at college. I work like in the summer. And once I graduated, I started working right away. So for me, work is not an option. Like, I need to be able to be independent, get my own money, and that's it. So yeah, it was hard. It wasn't easy at all. At all. Like, I wasn't getting like woo 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 money everywhere. No, I struggled a lot. But as I told
And I
you,
can
I'm
imagine because you
gutsy.
were one of the first jammers in Egypt, right?
Yeah, still,
How many there are?
no one, just me.
You're the only one. And you've been the one and only for 8 years?
hmm
Oh wow. Amazing woman. But
And it
yes, at
wasn't
the beginning
easy.
when
Mm-mm.
yes, that's where I'm going because the pandemic helped you guys a lot because you transitioned into virtual sessions and the whole world got to be more exposed to the jammers from all over the world. But before that, you were limited to your territory. So I can only imagine you could not be teaching sessions every weekend or every month because it's the same people that you're targeting in your same country, right? So how many people did you used to have at the beginning in your sessions?
4, 6, 9. The first time ever I've been to a ZinCon, it was in 2018, and I remember very well, how tight my budget was, the ways that the amount of work I had to do and save money for this trip. And oh my God, it was so tight. And it's so expensive to fly from Egypt to the States, and it's exhausting. But it didn't matter. Like, I wanted to go. I have to go. I need to see them, like, in person, in flesh. I need to see everyone. I need I need it. So I had to save so much money, like to work day and night to be able just to travel 2018.
What
Yeah.
was the most impressive part of Zumba convention? That first time that you went to Zumba convention?
Honestly, our ZJ meeting. That was like for me so humbling, yet so eye opening, so inspiring. And it made me feel like I'm not small. I'm not I'm not someone from a very far away country that no one knows. Like they were friendly to me. My boss was so kind to me. Everyone was, and they were like talking, chatting. It was the first time ever for me to feel like, do you know who I am? I really think I'm good. Oh my God. Am I as good as this one and this one? And this one, we're together here at the same place. It was like a boost of confidence that I needed because honestly, even after becoming a Zumba jammer, I've always felt like an underdog. Like I have less opportunities. I have like a very difficult market, a very difficult audience. I'm not into social media that much, so I don't want to keep on posting stuff. So it was like for me, so good. The first thing to see is my colleagues, and they are being nice to me. That made me like comfortable. And of course, I was starstruck by everyone. Like whenever I
Yes,
saw
but
anyone, like,
that's the shocking part that I would think, since you mentioned in your post that I read that you were very self conscious and insecure. I would think that being in a room with 280 other amazing choreographers would make you feel little like, oh, why am I here? Like imposter syndrome. Like, do I even deserve to be here with all of these fantastic choreographers? But you didn't feel that way. You felt the opposite. So maybe it is something that happens at that meeting, just for the people listening at Zumba convention, couple of days before the convention officially starts. There is one whole day, it's usually on Tuesday, that they hold the jammers meeting. So it's a whole day that they get together and train. And I don't know what they do because I'm not a jammer, but apparently wonderful things happen and make you feel very included as you are sharing now.
yeah, I remember what exactly happened. Like we have this segment where they give like top attendees in like United States in this region, and best feedback, best whatever. So I was like sitting and like watching everyone, and I found my picture up there, and I was like, I think top Middle East, and I was like, me with my 4 and 6 and 9 who attends my jam. So it was like,
Yeah, how beautiful.
so that was it. I went there and I remember I was in the bathroom and I was just get back inside the room and everyone, and I hear Jenny like, Heba, where is Heba? And I was like, this is my name. I don't think there's any other jammer who's
Another
named
one.
Heba. And it's like, then I found my picture and Jeffrey was there and I was like, Heba, get up on the stage. And I was like, what is happening? And she told me, like, you're top Middle East. And I was like, yay.
So it's
That
because
felt
you were
surreal.
acknowledged. Of course. So special.
I think it was like something honorary, like to lift my spirit up.
How did your life or your Zumba work changes after going to the first convention? Because I know it's very common that after you go to the first convention, it's like the curtains open and you see everything that's available for you and reachable if you put your mind to it. So, how did Heba change as far as professionally wise after the first one?
My God, I knew the moment I stepped out of the first session, I've been there, that Heba, you have a lot of work to do. You need to practice a lot. You need to learn a lot. You need to put like extra work. And yeah, like it was the first time ever for me to see like Afrobeats. It was Ricardo and Alexa. It was the first time for me to see dancehall ever. It was Kat and Latoya. And it was like, I'm not used to this at all. And I loved it. And I'm sure I was like not good at all, like why during the session, but I was excited to learn something new. I always have this excitement about new stuff. Like I have this hunger to learn and try to move my body in a different way, to learn from people, from others, and I observe a lot because I didn't get the chance to. I've always loved dancing, but I didn't know where to go, how to do it, who can teach me, is it possible? So all these years of like suppressing this need to dance and to move like went like, here you go, just do it.
So you feel that the quality of your jam sessions improved significantly after attending that first ZinCon because you were able to implement new rhythms and new moves.
100%. And if anyone says otherwise, like if you go and leave without feeling the same, like there's something wrong. No, you need to
Yes.
feel like shaking, like, oh my God, I need to try this, do this, practice this. Like it always makes me more hungry to learn, to practice.
So if there was one Zumba person that you have been looking up to, because I know we all look up to many different people in Zumba, but if you were to choose the one that has maybe inspired you the most or given you the most to drive, who would that be?
Be 100% honest, it changes. It doesn't mean because it changed that I have lost the way I see this person or they stopped inspiring me. No, no, no. But because I like change. I like change. Like Prince for me was like, and still like, like, how
Me too.
come this is not possible? This is not possible. Like, I can't. Like, this is not
I agree.
possible. It's like, then same Prince in the same level. Okay. Like, it didn't change for me. He inspires me to the core. Madel, my God, my God. For first time ever, I saw Sandra. It was in Egypt, not at Zencon. And the moment she started doing a step touch in the warm up, I was like, are we women allowed to be this fierce? That was it for me. She inspired me so much in this part to be like loud, take the place, like be confident, be fierce. Like in so many ways, it changes a lot. A lot of people are inspiring me, and but for me, it's like and really, first time to see her doing Zumba in person was as well in Egypt, and I was like, my God, like they inspire me so much by their work ethics, the excellence they deliver, and I feel challenged. I feel like I need to work more. I need to deliver more. So yeah, and I have a dream, and I hope this dream will come true. I will not say it, but when it comes true, I will let you know, or I can tell it. I will tell you maybe after.
Okay, I keep your secret. Yes, yes. I know. I totally agree. Some things we express it publicly to keep ourselves accountable, but some other things we should not to avoid any bad energy,
Mhm.
bad juju, and to make things happen. So I totally understand. Quick pause to remind you that if you're enjoying this conversation and want to continue to listen to these very deep and transformative conversations every week, you definitely want to click on follow on Spotify or subscribe on my YouTube channel so that you get the notification every week and you don't miss any of the episodes. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the show. So, Heba, if you were to tell me 5 events that has happened in your life that have changed completely the the path in your life, what would be these 5 events? It can be ever since you were a child, anything that has happened that you know if it wasn't for that thing, your life would be completely different.
Okay. I had this really, really bad friend when I was a child. She was bullying me all the time. And I was so scared to like move away from this friendship because I was so scared of her. Then at one moment, like I told her, listen, I can't be your friend anymore. And that's it. And I left. It was the first time ever for
All
me
the
to stand up for myself. I was like eight,
So
maybe
first time
seven.
establishing boundaries with people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you
She was
had to
so
find new
mean.
group of friends or a new friend.
Yeah, yeah. But like childhood friendships are like they come and go, they come and go, they come and go. Like very, very rare when it lasts. And second thing, okay, when I got my results for my first year in college and I was one of the top 10, I was like, oh my
I'm
God,
special.
I can do it. I'm not that bad. And I was like, I ranked 10, and second year I ranked fourth, and for third year I ranked third. So it was like, "Woo,
Kept giving you
good
the
job."
drive to continue to do a
hmm
good job. Amazed.
Yeah. And the third thing, I think when I took my B1 training, it unlocked something inside my brain, my heart, my body that made me feel "Mm, I'm capable of some stuff. That's good."
Was that the
And
first B1 training ever taught in Egypt?
there were some Zumba classes in the country, but I've never been to a Zumba class before the B1. I had no
So
idea
how did you
what
hear
is
about this
Zumba.
training?
My friend told me like, Heba, I'm going to take this training. Would you like to come with me? And I was saving money to take new courses. I told her, sure, how much is it? And it was like, good, okay, good deal. I was either gonna take Zumba or jazzercise. So for me, Zumba was more affordable.
Big change.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Definitely
So from
changed the
this to
path.
this.
And how did your friend hear about this training?
I think she used to teach classes at a gym that this gym was hosting the training. So she told me, so I knew from that.
Your first training was with Elisa Stone, I think, right?
I love her so much. Yes. I remember every word she has said in this training. She's an amazing educator. I took Zumba
She
step with
is.
her as well. And fifth thing is my surgery.
Which surgery?
Last March, I had a major operation in my lung.
What was wrong with your lung?
I had the lung tumor that was blocking the upper right lobe of my lung that was basically not working. So I had to remove the tumor as well as the lobe.
How did you find out? What symptoms were you having?
I was having this pain in my chest, and it was like I always felt there's something wrong in here, and no one believed me.
For how long?
Okay, 3 years. I don't
Okay.
complain. I don't complain. I'm used to like pain. Okay, just keep pushing. So one day I woke up. I took myself by myself to a hospital. I want a CT scan on my chest. I did it, and I went to a doctor, and he gave me a wrong diagnosis. Like, "Oh, don't worry, it's nothing." Then 3 years later, it it felt so bad. Like while breathing, I could feel there's something blocked inside. It's not working properly. So I did another one. I went to another doctor and he kept asking for more scans. I did a PET scan.
So, for how long were you at the hospital? How long was the recovery?
I stayed at the hospital for 8 days. First 2 days at the ICU, and the rest in my room. And then I did my first mini jam after 5 weeks after surgery.
Were you allowed to?
No, no.
Uh, one.
My mindset was actually what helped me throughout this whole experience, that I really was focusing on recovery, not anything else. Like once I stepped out of the surgery, the operation room and everything, I was like, I will do everything they ask me for. I will do everything. I will be a good girl and I will do my recovery as fast as I can. It was recommended that I start working out like 6 to 10 weeks after surgery, but I did it like
Was
three
there any
weeks after
type of
surgery.
physical therapy you needed to go through or any kind of in particular exercises?
I've tried to see like I went to rehab centers and physiotherapy, but no one knew how to deal with my case. So I just Googled, I did my work, I trusted
Our
myself,
doctor,
and I did
Google.
it on my own because honestly, this is one of the downsides here. Like they care more about knee rehab, back rehab, like not organs, how to cover it. And honestly, no
Yes.
one understands my body but me. Like no one understands my abilities but me. So whenever, like when I started working out, like to get ready to get back to my classes, everyone like, how? And I was like, I'm okay. I can do it. I know it's hard. You cannot understand it, but I know my body needs this blood rush. I need to walk. I need to, like, it was hard. It wasn't easy. It was crazy.
Thinking, I'm thinking that maybe some breathing techniques, doing some particular breathing exercises every
Yeah,
day will help you to increase the lung capacity.
it was like this spirometer. This was the only thing that I was doing. Spirometer, like when I like,
Mhm.
and there's like this three balls that rise up when you take a big inhale. So this was my only exercise.
And how did you feel when you did your first jam session? Were you out of breath, more tired, or you felt fine?
To be honest, I just started feeling normal like weeks ago, like 4 weeks ago. Like
Okay, so it's been
everything
like
was like
6, 7 months recovery.
my heart rate was like crazy with the simple move. Like I feel my heart rate is really up, and I was like monitoring my heart rate throughout my classes or jams. I take my time, like water break. I need to pace myself. I need to go easy. Like I know
So,
it's really hard
but
to
I see
believe.
that you teach Strong Nation. So how do you teach this class?
But we don't teach 100% of the class. We coach, right? Yes. So for me, I do coaching and I do moves. When I feel like now I need to, heart rate is really high, I start coaching. I check now it's better. I start participating. For me, it was a problem, the range of motion and the nerve pain and nerve damage in the whole area was really, that was the most painful part, believe it or not. It
So
wasn't the lung
how does it
itself, it
feel?
was the cut. Now it
Like
feels
the nerve losing sensation on where the wound is, or what exactly are you talking about?
Uh, okay, no, it hurts so bad. It's this kind of pain that you feel like you're being electrified in this
Because it's
region.
nerve pain.
And it's, yeah, and it's so sensitive. It's so sensitive. Like when I press it or anything, like when I do a sudden move, it hurts so much. That was the challenge for me.
This is
I was
after the
able to
surgery.
compensate
So the pain is more after the surgery than the one you were having before.
yeah, I didn't have any pain before surgery in this
You just
area.
had that
I had no pain.
pressure.
The mhm. But after surgery, the whole problem with the cut itself.
So like when it comes in contact with the clothing, it bothers you, it hurts, or is it with specific moves, or what triggers it the most?
Yeah, all of that. All of that. Like sometimes no triggers just on its own. And sometimes maybe it's too tight or I couldn't sleep on my right side for like 6 weeks. I couldn't. I just couldn't. But it was painful.
But is there hope that you heal all the nerve damage, or you don't know?
No, they suggest that I kill the nerve, but it now it's way manageable than before. Like
Do
I'm
you
used
take
to pain,
pain
so
medicine?
so that's fine. No.
May I ask, how is your relationship with your dad?
He passed away when I was like I think 10, 11. I think he passed away when I was like so little.
How did he pass?
Stroke. He was diabetic and he had two brain strokes, and that's it.
How do you feel about death? Are you nervous about it?
Nervous about his death.
Death in general, since you had to encounter death at such an early age, I would think that it creates a big impact and changes the way you see death and you see life as well.
He passed away when I was like young. So for me, I think I didn't process it like an adult. So I didn't have these big questions about life and death and what happens and stuff. So for me, I processed it like not easy, but
But it wasn't that big of a deal.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
How, now looking back in retrospect, how did life change for you and your family after your dad died?
We automatically became so independent, all of us. Like when the father is gone, you need to know how to take care of yourself and your mom and your family. You need to like less fun, more work. You know what I mean? Like, it's the father, you know? So it's this sense of security, this sense of like a big shoulder for the family and stuff is not, it's not there. So you need to be there for your own and for your family. Maybe that's why I have this sense of responsibility developed so early. Like, I need to be reasonable, I need to be responsible, I need to like, do you really need this? How you're gonna get this? I don't ask for stuff. I work, I get my own money, I get my stuff. I don't ask for stuff. So that's why I have this sense, and I think all my my sisters and brother, we have the same feeling that we shouldn't ask for anything from our mom. We just need to find a way, work, get it.
Yeah, it's the syndrome of growing up with a single mom. You know, you cannot add any extra worries to their lives because they have enough and they are struggling to take care of raising the children. Like the same story for me. My mom and my parents got divorced when I was 7 or 8 years old. And so I have the same syndrome, like, do not add any inconvenience to mom. She's had enough. We have to help. And all of our decisions, we'd better make the right decisions so that she doesn't have to pay the consequences of a wrong decision. So you become more serious in life, right?
Yes.
Like like
We have
childhood
no
ends
option.
faster.
I don't mean like, I think I had my childhood wasn't horrible at all. Like, it was so far normal. Yeah, I didn't get everything I wanted, but I never felt bad. Like like it was understandable for me. Like, I know if I have something, it's for a reason. If I don't have it, it's for a reason. And if I want something, I need to work for it. I need to get it myself.
So how did your mom take care of the family? Was she working, or how does it work in your culture?
No, she never worked. Basically, my biggest sisters, like the oldest and the second one, they were already working, and my uncle was helping my mom, and this is how we got through life.
Did she continue to receive a pension or some type of government help because your
Yeah,
dad died?
yeah.
Did she remarry, or that's unheard of in your culture?
No, no, some people get remarried, but she didn't.
She chose not to.
That was enough. Now it's time to relax. Like, because he was sick for years before he passed away, so she was like helping him a lot. Even her back got hurt from the heavy lifting and stuff. Even she had to go through a surgery like to fix her back. So yeah, it was like good.
Okay. No, and the reason why I'm asking you all of this is because, have you heard of biodecoding?
No.
Is the biological coding that each of our organs have that is linked to our emotions in life. So, for you to understand a little bit more, 3 years ago, I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which is extreme pain on the joints and degeneration of the bones. So I was in shock because I was only 43. I have been super athletic and healthy all my life, so I was not expecting this to happen. So then I started researching different routes because I didn't want to just take medicine for the pain. If I had been taking very good care of myself and my health, obviously this was coming from somewhere else because it's not like, oh, change these habits that you're having that are causing rheumatoid arthritis. Like I was already living a super healthy life. So then I started reading a lot of books and understanding that disease has a strong link to emotions, and our emotions are strongly linked to the way we see and perceive life, right? We all are programmed in different ways. So then I got into trying to understand what the root of my disease, rheumatoid arthritis, was, and is the suffering, the feeling insignificant, the feeling that you don't matter to anyone, yourself sense of worth is very low. So you tend to have these kind of like people pleasing tendencies, putting others above you, no matter how much pain you're going through or how much you're sacrificing. So anyway, because I was able to work on my own disease, understand the emotional root of it, and it has actually been on remission for the last 2 years. I've never taken medicine for it. I'm very proud of it. Then I actually registered to become certified in biodecoding because I was like, this is fascinating. Like, imagine we all understand our emotions and understand why disease is showing up in our body, right? So I took the certification, not with the intention of me to become a practitioner, but for me to really understand emotions at that level. So I kind of know the biodecoding meaning of having a tumor in your right lung, what it means. Would you like to know?
Okay.
So, because our lungs are the organ that keeps us alive through breathing, because we need oxygen to stay alive, right? It's actually not even the heart. Without oxygen, the heart cannot do its job, right? It's the lungs. So, it's
Mhm.
the one organ that has to do with life and death. So, that's why I ask you, okay, here's the other thing. Anything that is on your right side has to do with your dad or your spouse. On the left is the mother's side, or you being a mom. So your right side is with your dad. That's why I asked you about your relationship with your dad and what he had to do. And then immediately you tell me he died. So it's already confirming my theories based on all the knowledge that I got that has to do with life and death. That has to do with your dad. Now, the extra thing is that when you grow something extra on that organ, as a tumor, then you're trying to compensate for something because you don't have it, you lack it. So maybe it's the lack of having your dad in your. And this is very basic. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I just have the very basic knowledge of the different emotions that are linked to the different organs. But isn't this very interesting that you gave me this answer about your
My
dad not
God.
having your life? It's fascinating. And our organs take the responsibility of protecting us. So they end up taking over the responsibility because we're not acknowledging it ourselves. Because many times it's things that we oversee, but then they are still inside. It's still a very important part of you. And then the organ starts telling you, listen, this is what's happening right now. And this is what you have been ignoring for a long time. And the beautiful thing about biodecoding is that this is not like therapy that you need to go for years and years. Like, no, in one session, you discover what your organ is telling you. You acknowledge the emotions that you've been denying or ignoring. And then it's like, poof, everything gets better. Blows my mind, woman, at another level.
What? So what to do from this point?
I don't know because you already got the surgery. So you got help. Listen, maybe if you don't acknowledge that this is important to you and that the lack of a father or a male figure in your life as a role model is something that you lacked, then maybe in the future you will continue to have issues with the same lung because you just removed something your body grew surgically, but it doesn't mean you
Because
remove the
it was
emotion.
bad.
Yes, but that's what happens to our body. Okay, so I'm going to share with you another very interesting example. So in December 2019, I had a sexual aggression. I used to stay with this friend every time I traveled to that state in the United States to teach trainings. I've known her for many years. Our kids were the same age, so they were friends. And so now her kid was already 17, 18 years old. So I used to travel to that state once a month and stay with her at home. And then we would sleep in the same bed. So then I'm sleeping there one night. The next day I have to get up early to teach the B1 training, and I am sharing the bed with her. So in her house, it's only her and her son, two rooms in the house. So I'm sleeping in the bed with her. I'm sleeping on this side. She's sleeping on this side. And I'm here like in fetal position. It's winter. It's cold. I have a pajama that is like long sleeves, like sweatpants and like what you're wearing, sweatshirt. And then I feel something wet in my back. And then I wake up all confused in the middle of the night. And when I turn around, I see her son, who's now almost 18, standing next to the bed naked, and he's masturbating, rubbing his penis against me. I know, woman, the shock I go through. Heba, you're not prepared for these things. You don't know how you're going to react. So I looked at him, and because I'm just waking up, I'm still thinking it's a dream. So it takes few seconds for me to realize this is reality. And by the time I really understand what's happening, I see him that he pulls his underwear back up and he goes running out of the room and goes into his room. So I close my eyes and I'm like, this is not happening. This is not happening. This is not happening. I'm in shock, and I'm in shock for several reasons. I'm in shock that this is happening to me because I've been super extremely careful not to put myself in dangerous situations for me to be progressed in such way. I'm shocked that I trusted this family. I'm shocked that I've seen this kid growing in front of my eyes. And why is this? Why is he doing this to me? I'm shocked that he's doing this in front of, like, his mom could open her eyes and see him doing this. Like, she's sleeping next to me. I'm in shock that she's my friend, that my son is the same age. I'm thinking if my son ever does this to somebody, I would die. Like, this is horrible. So it's like so many different things going on through my head. So, anyways, I did have to call the police and blah, blah, blah. It was a whole deal. It was terrible. I did not think that it was going to affect me so much because at the end of the day, it's not like I was raped. We minimize our shocks in life, right? So in my head, it's like, yeah, it was shocking, but yeah, it's not like you got really raped. So move on, whatever. So anyway, I ignore my emotions and I ignore my anger towards the situation because mainly I'm focused on feeling my friend's pain and my friend's disappointment and embarrassment and I'm feeling as a mother as well, right? So I couldn't continue this friendship with my friend because it was a constant reminder of something that I needed to block out of my head and move on, right?
Understood.
So all of this sudden, I've been with my partner, my boyfriend, for 8 years. So we had been together for 4 years back then. And all of the sudden, every time we got into intimacy, having sex together, I would be in extreme pain after. I didn't understand why. I started going to doctors. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why sexual intercourse is causing me so much pain all of the sudden. It has never been this way, like in so much pain for days after. I would be like inflamed. So I would be like, no, I prefer not to have sexual intercourse anymore if I'm going to have to go through this pain. Anyway, fast forward years after, I am taking this biodecoding seminar or certification. So one day I'm in class and it's online, and our teacher chooses one student in every class to do the session, to do an example in front of everybody. So in that day, we were learning a protocol that she was teaching us on how to listen to an organ in particular that is feeling pain. So she's like, okay, Maria, you're going to be the student today. And I'm like, oh, great. And I had just had sexual intercourse with my boyfriend, and I was feeling pain. And so she asked me, do you feel any pain in your body today? Because it's like a very random, whatever you're feeling, if you have a headache, whatever. And I'm like, so I'm being honest, I'm like, yeah, I have pain kind of like in my ovaries. So then I go through the whole session, so beautiful. You don't even need to be specific with telling them the whole story because the session is not for the practitioner to hear your story. The session is for you to understand what your body is doing and what is it is protecting you of. So then she makes me imagine that I am grabbing my ovary and that I put it on a kind of like a pedestal, and I'm having a conversation with my ovary, and I'm understanding what my ovary is doing to me. And I'm understanding that my ovary is protecting me. The ovaries are the organ that produce life. And my ovary was protecting me because the biggest pain I felt through all of this sexual aggression was me feeling as a mother for my friend, feeling so bad for my friend because I related as a mother. And as a mother, my organ, my ovary that gives life as a mother was protecting me and felt that anything sexually related was going to cause me pain. And it was trying to protect me. So it was trying to prevent me from having sex. Blows my mind. Heba, after that one session,
Wow.
I never experienced that pain again. Explain that to me. If it wasn't because it happened to me, I know this sounds woo woo. This sounds like you believe in magic. I can only tell you this shit's real. Our emotions are trapped in our cells and we tend to ignore them, but the cells in our body are keeping the emotions. So maybe something you need
My
to
God.
try to connect with your dad. Who knows?
Who knows, really? And wow, we all have like these emotions or experiences that we are trying to like distance ourselves from it and like keep forgetting it, or I don't want to feel this feeling ever again. And somehow your body is doing its best to remind you that we need closure.
Your body is like, hey, no, we're still feeling this pain, even though you're
Mm-hmm.
distracted with everything else. So pain is the language of the body to make us stop and listen to our body, to our own
I
self.
feel like I have developed this unhealthy relationship with pain. Like, usually, when you feel pain, you stop. You start to analyze, to understand what's wrong, and let's fix it. For me, it's just, I have this ability that I'm not so proud of, but somehow I have developed it that I feel pain, just keep going. You feel pain, you're living. Life is painful. You're not gonna stop.
You're you're ignoring your body trying to tell you, hey, let's have a talk. There's something trapped in here, some emotion, some perception, some meanings of life are trapped in
Hmm.
here. And you just keep ignoring. And I know I understand you because the pain of my rheumatoid arthritis, I ignored that for 2 years until it came to a point that I could barely move Heba. It was horrible. And I was in panic thinking that I would never be able to teach Zumba, that my job is over. How am I going to make a living? It was horrible. But I couldn't, like, literally, I could barely move because I was in so much pain. And it's because I just kept ignoring my body. So through this biodecoding, I understood that pain is a beautiful way for the body to tell us, hey, just stop everything and just listen to me. Just sit down and listen to me for a second. And then you release
But you
that
know
pain
what? It needs courage to do so.
a
Like
lot.
sometimes you just don't want to face your biggest fears or like the worst case scenario. Like the moment I decided to go and have this CT scan, it was like for me, I have to know and I have to be ready for whatever gonna happen. It it's hard. Now we are talking about our pain and we're like smiling, but it was not. It
It's
was one
scary.
of, I'm pretty sure it's so dark. It's so dark. And even after recovering and time passes and stuff, it is still dark. We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot and it's scary. Like for me, my biggest fear right now, what if it happens again? Am I ready to do it all again? Will I be this strong?
In your infinite wisdom of your body, your lung created that because it thought it needed it to survive. It didn't create it
Mhm,
for a bad purpose. But then you came and removed it. And then the organ is like, oh crap, now we have to recreate these again to be safe.
mhm. How did you feel like
And that's the scary
after
part.
you, how did you feel after you finally understood what's going on with the pain and stuff? What changed in your mind?
My whole life, I'm a totally different person. The last 2 years have taken me to being so different, to breaking so many programmings that I've been trapped into my whole life. I am no longer seeking achievements to feel that I deserve a place in life. I stopped that. I was in constant movement and I have to be doing and I have to be achieving and I have to be uh, creating an income for me. I was living in fear. And now that I understand life, the body, everything on a different perspective, I'm like relaxed. It's another person. It's the only way I can explain it to you. I am not gonna call it better than, because it comes with its pros and cons. Because even though I was before in constant achievement mode, even though it had a negative root because I felt that I didn't deserve a place in life and I needed to accomplish to prove to the world that I deserve a place in life. It's a negative root, but it kept me with the drive to continue to achieve things, right? So now if you no longer have that need to prove that to yourself, then what's the drive? It's like you just want to exist. I just want to meditate every day, go to the beach and walk for hours and be in connection with nature. I like, but at some point I like, oh crap, I guess I'd better be also working, right? I better be. So it's like it's different. The drive is no longer what controls me. So it's like trying to find a little bit of balance, not to go too much to the other extreme, right? So yeah, it's a constant juggle, but definitely it feels so beautiful to be at peace with my body and to recognize that every pain is like, okay, I'll stop. You talk, let me listen to my body and let me try to see what is it that I am hiding, what emotion I'm hiding, what is it that I don't want to face in my life, so that we can work through this together instead of thinking that pain is against us. It's like the enemy and is here to stop us. It's actually not.
It's like to redirect maybe our energy, our time, and maybe I was like wasting too much time and energy in something that I need to redirect in other side. For me, like now I appreciate more my me time, and I'm trying not to. I'm an overthinker. I'm trying to control that. Like everything is gonna pass. The way I like it, the way I don't like it. Eventually, it's whatever gonna happen. It will happen, and there's sense of relief when you know that sometimes you have no control over things that happen in your life, and you have to be okay with that and accept it.
But for
Great.
me, it was like, yes, I'm okay with struggles in life, but I always have to be prepared. I gotta have a plan B and C and D and a strategy.
Yes, like for
How do
me,
you stop
illness,
yourself from that? That's it.
you can't stop yourself from being ill, from having like bad situations, but the thing you can control or have power over is the way your attitude towards it. That was for me the case. All my energy, surgery, I can do nothing. I'm just there. Okay. What I have control and over is my attitude, my acceptance to the situation, and afterwards, my recovery. So I was redirecting my energy to what I actually can control or do best at or be in charge of, uh, for lack of better
And that
term.
quick parenthesis here. If you have resonated with some of the conversation that we have been having, please take a moment to share the link to this podcast. If each one of you shares it once, you help me immensely to grow this project so that I can continue to bring you amazing conversations every week. And thank you so much. Let's get back to the show. And we need energy to heal. So that's another thing, another big lesson I learned in the past 3 years, because I got to a point that I was in so much pain and I had zero energy, zero. Like, have I will wake up in the morning scanning from 1 to 10, where's my pain today? And based on that, I will know if I was gonna have 1 or 2 or 3 hours of mobility and functionality in the day before I needed to get back in bed because the pain was way too intense. So I was like, why am I lacking energy? Like, how do I create more energy? So that's why I needed to start researching, reading a bunch of books to understand that is mainly paying attention to the things that drain our energy, such as what you just said, being concerned about the things we cannot control, or being concerned about having plan B, C, D, E. Like all of this strategy in life is draining your energy instead of just, okay, let go consciously because that's energy I need to heal. And then I retrain myself. With me, it was daily meditations to focus on I'm healing, I am good, I'm healthy. Even if at the beginning it sounds like you're lying to yourself because you're not healthy, that eventually it becomes the new lie that you start buying into because you have repeated it so many times to yourself, right? But even
Mhm.
that is like reprogramming the way you think. And you've been thinking in autopilot of your life, but now you have to reprogram the way you think so that you don't drain your own energy. I didn't know. It's just
Mhm.
our thoughts were draining our energy. The
So
going
amazing the
through,
things that we discover just by you think something bad is happening to you and you feel like this is the end, like what I'm gonna do, this is so bad, and it turns out to be one of the best things that ever happens to you because it gave you the opportunity to understand yourself, to accept
yes,
yourself, and to give yourself some grace.
100%. It's super tough, but at the same time, it's the wake up call from life. So now when I see people that are struggling with a physical issue, with a health issue, and the younger the better. Like for you, you're only 36. I got my wake up call at 43. So I'm actually happy for you. I'm like, yay, to have your wake up call at
If
36. It's
only
like,
she can lift weight.
yeah, so this is a wake up call to understanding ourselves better and shifting our lives towards a totally different path, even though to the public it may appear as if we keep doing the same, but we keep doing the same in a totally different way, which is amazing. So, what are you looking forward to do in life? What are your goals in life? Because you're super young still. You're just studying life.
For me, it's more like, honestly, I want more. It's not goals, like not destinations, not numbers. It's more of feelings. Like, I want more of the peace, moments of peace. I want more moments of content. I want more moments of serenity.
How do you take peace and content every day?
Well, by having my me time, trying to be helpful as much as I can, by really enjoy, like, that's a deal breaker for me right now. If I don't enjoy it, I don't do it. If the food, I don't enjoy it, I don't eat it. If the drink, I don't enjoy it, I don't drink it. If this class is causing me stress more than enjoyment, I will not teach it.
Heba, isn't that a little bit of, or a lot of being rebellious in your culture?
Mm, mm,
Because based on
no.
what I see from the other side of the world, women in your culture are more programmed to be people pleaser and to sacrifice themselves, not necessarily to do only the things that they are passionate about.
I think it's like, it's not as bad as it is stereotyped. Like, we have restrictions. Like, if you ask any woman from any other country, any region, they will have challenges, like on different scales, in different fields, in different ways. But here, it's not that bad. It's not like being breaking the mold. No, it's just you need to be strong enough to stand up for yourself. And aren't all women they need to be strong enough to stand for themselves? It's not about the culture as much as it's you. What do you want? Some women here, they just want to get married, stay at home, raise their kids, and that's what they want. Genuinely, that's what they want. Even if it's like in the culture or anything, no, that's what they need. They work,
So
they don't
nobody's
want
being
to work.
forced into marriage anymore there.
Okay, like my mom, of course, she wants me to get married, she wants to me have kids, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. I'm happy this way. I want to stay single. Unless maybe my mind changes. But meanwhile, I'm doing what I want. But there's not like obligation. It's like what hurts here is that I feel like I'm disappointing her, but I'm not forced to do anything. It's like she's my mom. I don't want her to be sad, but I really want her to see that I'm happy. I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I want. That makes me happy. But like, she's almost 70 years old. I'm not gonna change the way she thinks. I will make her happy as much as I can. Meanwhile, I'm
And
doing what I want.
are all your siblings married?
Yeah.
All of them.
See, and that's why I always joking and I tell her, like, don't you have enough grandkids? Like, you already have enough. Mine will not be special.
So you're the only one that lives with your mom. It's the two of you at home.
Me and my brother and my divorced sister.
Oh, okay. So how is divorce in your culture? Is it more often now? Is it more accepted now?
It's so dark in a way that well, women in Egypt, they can divorce themselves. That's fine. But you don't get anything from your, like, mhm. But you can divorce yourself.
Yeah, but if you were not working, then what are you gonna do with your life?
And even if you like it depends on the men themselves. If they are good, like they want peace, no, they want to fight. They have like issues, like they want to get revenge from you. They are abusive, or they are fine. They care about their kids. So it's like there are so many different cases, but it's more accepted now than before because life is so hard right now economically, and everyone is struggling even to get an apartment or anything because everything is expensive. So life's hard. So if anyone wants to get divorced, they get divorced. Like,
So you've never imagined yourself being married or wished to get married, not even when you were a child?
no, I've always seen myself as like a free spirit.
Okay. Have you also never imagined yourself being a mother, like playing dolls, that you were the mom, and like imagining, oh, raising a child?
When I, no, like I don't think that. Like maybe when I was so young that I had my favorite doll, but I never thought of it as my daughter. Maybe she's my friend where I'll dress her, I'll design clothes for her and that stuff. like not, but not kids. But I used to take care of my nieces and nephews when they were kids.
So are you
Like,
allowed to date, or when
yeah,
you
a
date
lot of
another person, you is because you're gonna get married?
no, dating is very common here, and we have dating apps and stuff. But
Okay.
honestly, like it's been a while since I did so, so
So
not
did you
interested.
have you been in long time relationships or not?
No, that was always like short relationships, less like exploring and stuff each other, but it didn't last.
Is it because you don't feel attracted to the kind of men that your culture offers? Because same as when you were a child, you were attracted to what Hollywood was selling you, the skinny model. Maybe you are more attracted of what the
No,
Western
no, no,
world
no,
is offering.
no, no, no. I've seen like some really decent guys with like good manners and good energy, good connection, but it was for me, maybe it's like I don't like commitment.
Ah,
Maybe, I don't
well,
know.
that's very important to know, to have it very clear. Yeah,
Mhm.
because like, why would you date if you know you're gonna make that person waste their time if you know that you're not going to commit?
I think, yeah, I think that's always the deal breaker. Like when it gets like commitment, no, nope,
Because commitment to you, it means that at some point I'm gonna have to get married? Or what does it mean to you?
I don't want to. Nope. No, honestly, like I don't think I have the energy or the dream of it. No, because mostly like Middle Eastern guys, they are like so spoiled. Like they want like a lot of attention. Want they
The
be
woman to
so.
cater to them.
Mhm, mhm.
That's why I asked you if you were more attracted to men from another or a partner from another side of the world that doesn't need that much catering.
I was like too work focused. Like I didn't give myself the chance to explore, but I might. But I might. But for
And
me,
how is
it's not
it?
on my list.
What if that is it being with finding a special person to share life with, regardless of having to commit and getting married? Would it be a more appealing idea? Like, for example, I've been married
Mhm.
twice, and now I've been in this amazing relationship for 8 years, in which I do not want to get married because I don't need to sign that paper to know that I want to spend the rest of my life with him. And I've never been as in love with anyone and for so long with somebody as I am right now with my partner. And it works perfect. And we don't have to sign anything, put a ring on it. Like, no, we have freedom. And it feels amazing that with freedom, we want to be with each other every single day. Boom.
The thing is because you have this connection with them. I haven't find this connection yet. That's it. That's it.
But you're not giving it a try much anyways. You've been busy doing other things. It's not like you're
I don't
so
feel the itch to do it. Like when I get the itch, I'll
it will
try.
happen.
But
Yes.
yeah,
That's what you want.
exactly. But whenever I don't have, like right now, I don't have the itch, I don't want to go out looking for something that I know I will not take seriously and it might cause someone pain. It might cause me pain. Like a lot of my friends are trying out with the dating apps and dating in general. And it's all like, all for the like funny stories. Like, can you imagine I was on a date with this man and I was like, ah, and we just have a laugh and that's it, nothing serious, nothing serious. But for me, like, I don't want to do that. For me, when I get the need or the desire to do so, I will take serious steps. But for now, I just get a tumor out of my body. Like I want to chill, I want to have fun, I want to. I'm still exploring myself. I'm still like
Girl, will never
reconnecting with
end doing
myself.
that. Yeah, I think it takes our whole lifetime. Hopefully, the day before we die, we'll be like, yes, I finally know who I am.
I've been like, I had a surgery like less than 8 months ago.
That is
Can you
insane because that was
imagine?
life or death surgery. Yeah.
Life is
So it's like
crazy.
life has given you another chance.
I'm not gonna waste it on a guy right
Yes.
now, at least.
We need that energy for something better. You're absolutely right. Yes, 100%. I very quickly wanted to ask you, how did it feel to do the Zine volume, Zine 101, and to end up having what I consider to be the biggest choreography hit of all times in Zumba, con ganas. The whole world was obsessed for like over a year. Like still we do it. It was like it's the biggest hit ever. So how
Credits
did it
to
feel?
Alba. Credits to Alba because I'm so happy for her and I can't wait for her for the upcoming Zen volume 114, right?
So you
And
guys came up with
it
the
was
choreography
surreal.
together?
Mostly her. Maybe I was just giving opinion, like switching little stuff, but originally it's her choreo. Like she was like sending me, "What do you think?" And I will give my opinion, and she might change stuff, but it's her choreo. Like she
And
must
the
get
other
credit
one
for
that
it.
you did with her, the belly dance one, is also mostly her choreography. Is yours?
Afsa, mine.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, but it
Once
seems
one sent us the two songs, and immediately she sent me, Heba, I can't do it. I can't do belly dance. I don't want to do the belly dance. So I said, okay, I will do it. So that's it. That's how it happened. But I'm so
when
glad
you
it
guys were
happened
teaching it,
exactly this
it
way.
seemed the opposite way. It seemed like you were teaching, you were the leader for Conganas, and she was the leader for the other one. Or am I confused?
You're confused? Maybe because she was queuing for the kunganas, so I was doing the arms right away. But if you see Saksa, I'm doing the cues, and she's doing the arms right away.
Okay, then my bad. I'm absolutely confused. I was just mesmerized by you. I just couldn't take my eyes off of you. So I was like, I want to do this choreo, which is so cool. I want to do it as cool as these girls doing it. Like, I was like in awe. The way you
Thank you,
dance your
Maria.
paper, baby. It was like, Dios mío. It was like gorgeous to see you. So in my head, now it makes sense. I was just obsessed with you.
Can I tell you something? The first time ever I saw you, it was before the year we did Zen volume. It was at the theme party, and you were like wearing this crop top and pants, like and heels, and I was like, you look like an Amazonian woman. This you have this halo. You know when you had your short hair, it was around that
Yes.
time when you had your short straightened hair, and I was like. This was the first time I ever saw you in person, and I didn't talk to you. You were like walking, and I was like, so can you imagine when you first like recognized me and sent me? I was like, dreams do come true.
Thank you, baby. No, you have been an inspiration. I started following you ever since you came out on that zine. You know, we tend to live sometimes in our own little bubble and like mind our own business, and then we don't see all the things that are happening in our Zumba world. And I feel like that has been my case for several years. And like, for example, I present for Aqua Zumba in every convention. So I am just minding my own business, going to my sessions. I don't get the chance to go and see other people in other sessions. So sometimes we rely on the Zoom volume to discover the new talents, to learn from you guys, to embrace the young generation, the amazing new rhythms and styles, and to challenge ourselves to dance like you guys. So thank God for the Zoom volumes. And that Zoom
Thank
volume
you.
in particular was very
Yeah,
good because it brought many flavors.
exactly. And to answer your question, like it felt okay. I know you will get me right. Like when you have like in your career when you feel like this check, and this was like check, the big fat check. And it didn't matter. Like some people told me, "Oh, you'll be on a Zen volume just for two songs," and I was like, "It's amazing. I already feel amazing, and I'm so happy I'm paired with someone that I love." And I love her work. And we rehearsed the least out of everyone on this volume. We rehearsed the least time together. We almost rehearsed once.
Like very quickly before the filming?
Yeah, it was like the night before filming, and it was like for 40 minutes.
Well, that shows your true professionalism because it looked like you guys were actually friends. And you were so sweet
We
looking
had
at each
worked
other,
before
engaging
in
with
a
each other. Ah, okay.
we did one choreo jam together, and it was the first time ever for us to work together. And after this jam, like few months, and we get this like we'll be on a Zen volume together doing two songs. For me, I'm so thankful that we did it at this time, at this place, with this setup, because when I love connecting with people. Like I love getting to see, even though I don't see well, to feel the energy from people. Like to have people there
And
after like
even
two
though you guys
years.
had to switch and face the camera, you still had the energy of the crowd.
If you notice, every time I want to turn around and see people. Like I want to check on them, I want to see them, I want to connect with them. And it was for me, honestly, better than all my dreams, my wildest imagination. Yeah, I've been there for 2 songs, but I had the time of my life. I was so relaxed.
Me, I think you got the best deal. Only 2 songs that you get to shine and do the best. You give your best in your 2 songs, and it's actually just one of your choreographies. So it is your best creation, and then supporting each other, being on stage for 2 songs. Perfect appetizer, but for everybody to see you, your style, fall in love with you, and then every team was amazing, every couple, and then we got exposed to so many different new people. It was so refreshing. I don't know why they didn't do it again. I think it was brilliant the way that that Z volume was filmed, and it was a
I think
big hit.
I think they always like explore, try new stuff, and I think production is always like the biggest obstacle in Zen volumes. Like, it costs a lot of money. So I think that is the reason. But uh, I think they will do it again. I hope they will do it again. And
I
they will
hope so.
and hope they introduce like more fresh new faces. And for me it felt amazing, especially because like, you know what? When you're from Egypt and I don't look like the typical Zumba girl or Zumba presenter. So it felt for me like so amazing. It was like I don't need to fit in. I don't need to change a thing. I don't need to look certain way. I don't need to wear certain way. I just need to be myself. I need to have fun and be my authentic self 100%.
Girl, and I think that made you more empowering, more inspiring, more wow, because you defy all of our mentalities from the Western world that we need to have a look, to use the hair, to show skin, to, and you were just
Don't get me wrong, in my
unbelievably amazing.
classes, in my regular classes, oh my god, girl, I don't teach like this in my classes because it's women only. I do the hair flips. I do the
So
I
you
wear
let
whatever
your
I
hair down.
want. I Of course.
Go take your class.
Do everything. So for me, yeah. So it's like it was a struggle for me in the beginning to like move and keep my beanie on, like don't defy the heat from the long sleeves and stuff. But now I'm used to it. It's fine. It's fine because
No,
this is
girl,
me and
you're
I'm
like
proud of
one of my
myself.
idols. Like for you to move in such a cool way without relying on extra props on the hair, on the like wearing a baggy sweatshirt and pants and to dance so good. Like, congratulations.
It's the world
Amazing.
to me. Thank you. Means the world.
Amazing. Well, I can only imagine how the show must be completely different once you're like hair down and all free to do it in your classes. But just like the way we get to see you is unbelievable. So I am in love with your style. And I could tell from the last 2 conventions, every time we hug each other, I could tell that your energy is so beautiful. And I was really looking forward to getting to know you better and having a deep conversation with you and getting to know the real you and what makes you so amazing. Because I believe when we have these amazing energies, because you have so much power and history within you, and understanding of yourself that makes you shine so much.
Okay, I teach 4 Zumba classes per week. One Zumba step, one strong nation, and 2 circle mobility. Like I'm a walking billboard for Zumba.
So every day you teach one class.
No, it's random. Like one day, Monday I teach two, one Zumba step. Tuesday I teach one Zumba. Wednesday I teach Zumba, strong circle. And I take Thursday, Friday off. Saturday, I teach Zumba, then circle, and Sunday off.
Do you teach jam sessions every weekend?
Well, no. I think I'm sticking to the minimum, unless like collaborations that I must do. I teach almost like 2 jams a month, sometimes
Okay.
one.
So if people want to find
So
you,
it's not
whether,
much.
let's say, maybe I am on vacation on Cairo and I want to take classes with you, where can I go to find your classes? Where do I see the information? Or if I want to take a jam session with you or a master class, where do I find you?
Well, my jam sessions are posted on my Zumba page, like on Zumba website. And I'm trying the virtual classes. I will try next Sunday and the one after and see how it goes.
Do
And
you
maybe I will
travel to
do more
teach jam
virtual.
sessions in other territories or you're not allowed?
No, I'm not, because sometimes I go, like I went to Korea, and usually when I go to the States, because it's a long distance, so I'm trying to see more people and do in-person jams. But for me, unfortunately, traveling is something that I love, but realistically, um, it's not easy for me to get visa for other countries. That's the
Mm,
issue. Only the
God.
visa.
And you pretty much need a visa for every country.
Almost, yeah.
Oh.
That's the
So when you
that's the
come to the
obstacle.
US, how often do you renew the visa?
Believe it or not, it's the easiest one for me.
Who would have thought? Well, let's hope it stays this way with the new president. Maybe it's
I
not going to
hope
be that.
so. I hope so. But yani, for me, I had it for first one for 5 years, then I renewed it for another 5 years. So that's one in the pocket is good. But
Have you
other
ever
visas
thought
like
about
so
moving
random.
to another country?
It's hard.
I know because I did it too.
I know, but like for family wise, it's not that easy. But maybe you never know. In the near future, it will be easier.
If an
You never
opportunity
know.
comes to you that is irresistible. So if I go to Zumba convention, where do I find you? Which sessions are you teaching?
Uh, Maybe, hopefully, Zinjan session. And you will find me and my favorite people, my friends, assisting, cheering for them. Like you'll always see me with Adela and Rafi supporting them, Anna Mershenko. And I love Ronnie's session. It's one of the things that I love to attend and see. I always love to see Prince and Madel. Marlix, love
Girl,
Marlix.
this is unbelievable. We're drawn towards the same people. So Adele is on the talks to do the podcast with me. We've been trying to schedule the day that she's available. And Anna Marchenko, of course, but since I had Ricardo, her husband, so I gotta wait a little bit before I bring her. And I have Madele, but since Prince is the husband, I have to wait a little bit to bring Prince. And I have Ronnie. See, we are drawn to the same kind of people. It's like our energies attract each other. So you were teaching last year at convention. That was the first year that you taught a jam session at convention, or the second year?
This year I had the Koryu Zen Jam session. The year before I had the Mega Jam session.
So it's been 2 years as a percent.
The year before it was the Zen volume.
Huh? And if we don't see you in the sessions, anyways, we see you on huge banners all over conventions showing your gorgeous face. Yeah.
That one was a surprise. That one was a surprise. Like I was like, it felt so good, to be honest. To be honest, it felt so good.
Of course. And it was specifically
Mm.
placed in a place that everybody had to see it because it was right there at the beginning of the hotel. I'm very proud of you. I'm very honored to have you as one of my guests. Thank you so much for giving me this time, for opening up in this conversation. I know that I was making you nervous. Hopefully, it wasn't too painful.
Thank you for having me. Like, you are an amazing interviewer. Like, this type of thing, it's really your thing. Like, you know how to calm people down. Like, I was so nervous, and you started to take my nerves down. And your questions, like, not invasive. Like, I don't feel violated. No, it feels like I'm having a genuine chat with someone like I trust, and I know you genuinely care about me and you don't want me to feel uncomfortable or anything. So I'm really grateful. I feel so special. Like for you to ask me to do this, like, thank you so much. I might have some regrets, but I don't know.
I am very intrigued by many things about your life, about your culture, just because I don't know your culture. I realize we've been programmed in so many like opposite ways. So like you are a whole enigma to me that I admire, that I am like really curious about, and that I get to become a better person and expand myself just by listening to you, where you come from, how you think about life. This is just a beautiful opportunity. So this has been a blessing. Heba, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, I can get to have you as a guest many other times so that we can continue to explore life and we can update each other on how we understand each other's body pains and emotions and everything. You're beautiful, mi amor.
Traumas. Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Love you so much. I had a
Thank you, mi
wonderful
amor.
time. Thank you so much.
The love is mutual.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Lastly, don't forget to click on follow on Spotify and subscribe to YouTube channel. And I'll see you next week with our next guest. Thank you.
Oh my God,
Oh my
I'm
God.
nervous.
I just got super excited because you love the Smurfs. I was
Yeah.
obsessed with Smurfs when I was a kid. This is so cool. So you are into them as
See?
well as me?
Not so much, but I'm recording from my friend's studio and she's like obsessed. Oh my God, you need to see this. I
Show
okay.
me. My
All
God.
are these like
No, wait, wait.
n-
I have the collection. Wait, I have to put it up. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Hold on.
she's gonna be so happy.
Thought I knew where I had it because this used to be my son's room and I have the whole collection for him.
My God, she even like put this one next to me, like for good luck and stuff.
My God, I still have to find them. I love this. This is awesome. No, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with them. Like my bathing suits had this Smurfette. And I guess I just like this fantasy world in which all men, all around one girl, all the attention. And you had the power of the Smurfette right there with you. So she was giving you power. I will find my Smurfs and I will put them here for the intro of this conversation. Basma, thank you so much for sponsoring. You're one of the sponsors of this podcast. Thank you.
You will tell her she'll be so happy.
Guess what? I found my collection. You guys are gonna see what I'm talking about. Smurfette power. Yes. Shout out to Basma for being a sponsor today, hosting Heba for this conversation at her studio and showing us her amazing collection of Smurfs, which reminded me that I used to be very obsessed with them, and I found mine as well.